All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to This Pink Cloud. We are a show on recovery and flatulence, right? No, we are a show on recovery, mental health, all that good stuff. I am DJ Kelly Reverb. I am an RSPS, which means Recovery Support Peer Specialist, which is super exciting. And you see how I'm just not qualifying Chad today? I just talk right over Chad, and it just, and then that way, look at him. He's turning into a Pillsbury Doughboy here, dude. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the show. Hey, we also reached 900 subscribers, and I am excited about that. So thank everybody for following us. Obviously, if you can, please follow us because we'd like to get to that 1K mark. You know, just because that's been a goal for like 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time.
Keeping it 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. The 1,000 club. Anyway, sitting in with me, always the lovely, the talented, the follically challenged.
Sure.
Chad Lamons, everybody.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up. Hey.
Where's your fart noise, dude?
Hey. No, I don't get one.
You don't get one?
You know what I mean?
Because you're in control of it?
Yeah, man. I'm in control.
I'm in
control, dude. I got a grip on this thing.
I got this, man.
Hey, dude,
thanks for coming in. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Sitting across from me, always a pleasure to have this guy. I always got to do the build-up. The LPC, LCDC, King of the North, and I always like to say the Charlie Manson of recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dusty Burrows.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. It's good
How are
to
you,
be
bro?
back, man. It's really good to be back.
Right.
It's good to see you guys.
What have you been up to, dude?
Man, I've been up to a lot. I'm still doing private practice at sessions. We're still rocking and rolling down at Texoma Community Center in Sherman.
You're still doing your recovery Dharma?
Recovery Dharma's going strong.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing retreats now. We're doing lake days. So
okay, and is that for Recovery Dharma?
Yeah,
you're
it's
doing
for
those?
Recovery Dharma. So
all right.
the community is growing really big between the Dallas and the Plano Sangha, which are one.
I was waiting for you to use the word Sangha, dude.
One song Sangha, brother. Shout out, Dharma.
Okay, well, cool, dude. I'm glad you got that going on. And if people want to look that up, they can go where?
You can go to our Facebook page, Recovery Dharma Dallas or Recovery Dharma Plano.
Okay.
If you want more information on Recovery Dharma, go to recoverydharma.org.
All right. Well, there you go. If you want to set up your own meeting and you're in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, you can go to recoverydharma.org
if we
set
can
it up,
do
right?
it,
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so now that we've gone through all that, we have this very classy young lady that I've met, but she has a very inspirational story, I think, from what I've heard.
Yes.
And I'm excited to hear more. I would say a socialite, maybe a little bit of a debutante.
Absolutely not. I am a little bit offended, and just to clear that up, no.
Okay, cool.
No, far from that.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, but anyway, I love it. My next guest is Laura Jeffries, and she obviously has an opinion.
Jeffers.
Thank you.
Jeffers.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes. No
All
problem.
right. So anyway, but then you're also with Safer Dallas, Better Dallas, which
Yes.
we'll get into later.
Yes.
But typically what we do is we just kind of talk about your story and let the audience get to know who you are and your journey.
Okay.
All right.
Well, first, I want to thank y'all for inviting me and the privilege of being here. So I really appreciate that. That's always number one, because this is really a blessing to be a part and hopefully make a difference and then make sense at the same time.
Right. We struggle with that often.
Yes, I saw that in preset.
Right.
Yeah, you guys missed the pre-show.
No, yeah.
Hey, by the way, let us have it. It's okay. We can handle it.
Yeah.
You can yell at us if you want to.
handle it.
Oh my gosh. Well, No, I think I'm going to be real sweet to y'all.
Thank you. We
Yes,
appreciate it.
yes. Y'all deserve to be sweet. Okay. Really, how my format when I share my story is I like to start with where I've been, and then how it affected me, and then I like to stay in the solution, because that's really the most important part. Most people, we all pretty much, whether what it is that we did or survived or what drug, it's all the same to me. So alcohol and drugs, I don't see any difference. It's addiction.
Sure.
So, and then, I really don't like to, like I said, stay in telling the stories about how and what happened to me and, okay. It's just really more valuable to stay in the solution, and, that's what people want to hear.
Sure,
and,
yeah. Well, no, we
so-
are fans of solution-based recovery.
Yeah.
But I like to also hear train wreck stories too.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
no,
okay to hear a drunk-a-log.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to go bullet points. And, but, I'll save y'all from a lot of details because, 7 treatment centers can get kind of long.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Give us the truncated version.
Yes, I think
Gotcha.
bullet points.
Right.
My first drink was when I was 8th grade.
Okay.
And then I was hanging out with a lot of guys. I wore a lot of masks. It helped how I could function, obviously. And that first time that I had a drink, I felt good. I knew I belonged. Something clicked. And, of course, then again, I wound up on the carpet next to the commode and in a blackout and vomit all over me.
And that was the first time, huh?
Sure, 8th
Right.
grade.
Okay.
Right, which I find interesting because, a lot of people, they experience that and then they realize, this really isn't working for me. I don't think I'm going to drink again. Huh.
Right.
And however, just a few days, I'm kind of kidding, just a few hours later, I thought, I'm going to drink again. That makes sense, right? And skipping on, then, I really grew up. I had a pretty good life. I had great parents. They, I was offered so many blessings and privileges. But at the same time, I knew something was wrong in my gut, the cause and conditions, the bedevilments that they mention on page 52. And yet I tap danced so fast, I don't know how I got through high school with drinking and using. My sister.
I always like to know, what area of Texas were you in?
Okay, I grew up in Ennis.
Okay.
Small town. And, my sister and my brother-in-law are definitely in the fellowship. And they have quite a few years. As a matter of fact, my sister went to her first treatment center, and she got it.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
She got it. Went on Thanksgiving, and so it can happen.
Yeah.
And, we're 7 years apart, and that's important to know. So
Is she older or younger?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Older sister.
So here I am.
Okay.
I'm 14, and she's using, and that's how I.
Well, you had her to look up to as well, right?
Well, in a way, I looked up to her in amazement. But mostly I looked up to her jealous.
Oh,
and
okay.
I would call her things like, oh, you're Miss America AA.
Right.
And, because I'm partying. No, I have no
Right.
respect for anybody. No respect for myself. Pretty much,
and-
I'm in self.
Yeah, and
selfish,
recovery's a joke
self-centered.
right now to you. Yeah.
Ego. I was thinking about nobody, but guess what? Me. And then how I could hide it. That was a big deal, how I could dance so fast and wear that mask. That was vital.
Right.
It's
then-
almost like
and
you're
then
getting
keep
one over on the
secrets.
world.
Oh, sure.
You think you're like,
Sure.
oh man, I could do this while I'm fucked up.
Yeah,
You know
of
what
course.
I mean?
Yes. Yeah, and secrets keep us sick. Sure. And I had a lot of secrets because I didn't want to get busted, of course. Most important person. So I did a lot of lying, hiding, dishonesty. I maximized, I minimized things.
How were
I
you
did
as
the
a
whole
student? How
thing.
were you as a student?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Which
so
is-
you were
which
like
is
honor
crazy.
roll,
Yes.
teacher's pet,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
the perfect,
Yes.
the perfect
Yes.
picture.
Played
but
tennis.
the
yes.
dark secret
yes.
is
So that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah,
does,
pull
that
for
off.
sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was introduced to marijuana and to meth by my sister
Okay.
and brother-in-law. So, to me, I thought, hey, I'm with some safe people.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
These
I mean,
are.
they're doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. But then that's when the secrets start. And then I end up at Austin College in Sherman. Have no idea how I got accepted. Truly.
Right.
Obviously.
Shout out Sherman.
Well, sure.
Right.
That was amazing. And it was hard for me to keep the lie going. And it was hard for me to be using every day, attend class, and actually pull this off.
Sure.
So then I decided that I would go to TCU because it's a bigger place. Now maybe
Yeah.
I can hide, right? So I've got ego going on. I've got manipulation. I've got my plan doing, and I
Right.
got Well, that didn't work out real well either. Crazy. The way that my plan is just really not as good as God's plan, right?
Yep.
Bananas. And so I was 21. Then it took me 7 years to graduate. But hey what? I did it.
You pulled it off.
What, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. When I was 21, I went to my first treatment center at Hazelden. And then I went, I'll save the time. And, I got comfortable. If you can believe this, man, I got comfortable going to treatment centers.
Right.
I
Yeah.
was looking forward to them. I was going to be with
a lot
my
of
peeps.
a lot of people say like institutionalized, basically, is what it
Okay,
is.
well, I never said that.
Well, no,
I
but
said-
I'm just saying people do say that.
Sure.
Like, it's
You're-
like you
yeah,
get used
you're-
to
It's like
being inside.
it's like
yeah.
a
Yes.
vacation.
Well, I think
Yes.
I think it's a really safe space. You get there and you get fed, and you don't have to worry about
Exactly.
anything, and
Exactly.
you're with your people.
Yep.
Right.
So it gets
Yep.
to be a really comfortable zone
Yeah.
when your regular life is so uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I always said I'd go back to rehab every year if
I
somebody pay for
I
it.
loved rehab.
I
I
did
did.
too. I did too.
I liked it.
Yep, and that's a scary place
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
whenever I am looking forward to going to it because I'm treating it as a treat,
It's
a
summer camp.
vacation. Yeah,
Summer camp.
I didn't have to plan anything. I just, painted rocks. It told me when to get up. Right? I went to class. I learned a lot about the book. I had the tabs in it, memorized it by the fourth one. Hell, they thought I worked there.
Right.
The only problem was I had no plan to stop drinking, or I just wanted to fix the results. I
Yeah.
just wanted to not be in trouble. I went for probation. I was thinking out of my mind. The predator, that's our mind. And so when I'm having fun at a treatment center, that's not
Not
real
a good sign,
That's not.
yeah.
So I wondered why I would get out of a treatment center and then 2 weeks, I'm relapsing. And, I thought, damn, what is going on with me? Something's really wrong with me. I know this book backwards and forwards. I've done my best. I can even quote it. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. And yet I am dying inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
About that 6th treatment center, I am doing what's told.
Right.
I'm working the steps. Ha ha. That's kind of a joke.
Right.
But I am telling myself I'm doing it. I got a sponsor. I'm going to meetings. I'm doing the things that they told me to do.
Well, it sounds like you're doing what you were
The
doing
action
in your
steps.
life. No, but you're presenting well. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
all
Oh.
a fake. The
Yeah.
only thing that I didn't do was these 12 things that are on the back of the wall.
Right.
So that was a little bit of a problem. But I had fellowship. I'm making coffee. I'm
Right.
cleaning ashtrays. I'm making friends with stuff. And
I'm being of
and-
service. I'm
Oh,
chairing
yeah,
meetings.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sponsoring
Oh,
6 people.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Right.
I mean, Kelly, I got somebody patting me on the back. Man, you're doing good, Laura. Your eyes are bright. Golly, you're involved, doing service work. You really look good, getting all those attaboys. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if I look good and sound good, well, I must be doing good.
Right.
And yet I would go into a meeting, and I've just drank a bottle of a water bottle of vodka, and I'm walking to a meeting because I've got something so fabulous to say.
Right.
And waiting for them to call on me. And I'm even going in there and I'm checking the room. right? Because I think I need to be chairing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
I know more than this person. I know more
Oh,
than them.
naturally, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they misquoted the book wrong. Yeah, I go in with a motive, and when they pass out their numbers and stuff, of course, back in the day, I just took the numbers and threw them down. So, I didn't need them. I was in there checking the boxes. I could report back to my sponsor, and I would pick up the phone and, hey, sponsor, doing good. Made it to a meeting. Ha, ha. Okay, click, bye. Thinking that was the real deal.
Right.
That's all I had to do.
That was your check-in.
Well, sure. Yeah. I thought this was, and yet here I'm dying inside, and I'm still using, and I'm wondering, what is my problem? I've got a behavioral problem. Man, I'm sitting in these meetings, and I got the hands under my legs, and I'm shaking, and I'm really thinking, man, I know all these people can't be sober. I bet they're just thinking about that next drink. I've got to do this for the rest of my life. Man, I don't know about these meetings. This isn't really going to work, but I'm still going to go because, well, I know more than they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't you think that like addiction to validation is almost as powerful as the addiction to the chemicals?
Well, yes. Yeah.
Because sometimes that can be the thing that keeps you coming back into the rooms, because it's not the romance of sobriety, is it?
Right. It's like, oh, I'm Queen or Captain AA.
Like,
Yes.
they can pump me up.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Exactly. And I'm getting my validation here.
Sure.
Right.
Well, it's my ego, of course, and believe it or not, I had a pretty big one. But at the time, I didn't know just how big it was.
Right.
I was just trying to do what they said to do, take action, and yet I would walk in, hey, Laura, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. And really, I'm dying inside. So, but this 8th treatment center, and I'll get choked up because that is when I became recovered. And on the book, on the first page, it says that we become recovered. I'm not cured at all. Every day I have a blessing, and it's just for the day, just for the day. And actually, I've got 5 years, but God's really not that impressed.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's just another day, and
Right.
I'm blessed to have it. And actually, nobody else should be either. Yes, birthdays and the milestones. Yeah, they're important.
Yeah.
But they're not important for me. They're important for somebody else to see,
Right.
so they know. Damn, if Laura can do it.
Right.
And we
Well-
saw her for the last 20 years. She should be dead, institutional, for
Right.
real, in prison, or she shouldn't be here. And
Well, okay, so
check it out.
what do you think is like really was the thing that clicked from first time to the 8th time? Like, what was that key difference that you noticed?
Right. How I became recovered. When I 100% have to concede, it's a spiritual journey. In the book, they mention a higher power, God, however we want to do it, 213 times. I never knew that. Right? My sponsor just told me that. But when I'm in this treatment center that's in South Padre, I was only with 16 women in a little bitty place. It wasn't fancy, didn't have a whole bunch of activities. You made your own sandwich. You're getting the drift.
Right.
And that was a blessing, not to mention in 2 years. And I'm so grateful for vodka. I was king alcohol,
Right. Yeah.
because that's what knocked my knees, and the gift of desperation. Y'all, I went into this treatment center and somebody literally delivered me. I had wet brain, functioning. I was taking Xanax like it was Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
And so I was at a point where I could not function. So no, I didn't go in willing like I did the 7 treatment centers, looking forward to it. And hey, it's just this one. Somebody is literally on the plane with me to make sure I get there. And I arrive. I don't even remember the day I arrived. And you know how they usually say,
Yep.
"Oh, we're glad to see you. This is the best day of the rest of your life." And, I would always be like, I'm not really feeling that jubilant, but, okay, well, this
Hey,
one.
good to see you. We're glad you're not dead.
Yeah, right, exactly. But no, this time I don't remember. Somebody had to tell me what day it was. It went right over my head. I was blessed. God blessed me that I got to detox for 2 weeks, which, I couldn't hold the book.
Yeah.
They could have been reading me Winnie the Pooh, and I had no concept.
Right.
And that was, I knew, actually, I don't know how to explain it, but that first day, laying in a cot, and I'm seeing things moving and melting down, and I can't even finish a thought but my one prayer. And that's when I took my, I'll get choked up, but
It's okay.
fuck it, that's all right. Because if I don't get choked up, and I truly can't remember that day,
Yeah.
then I got a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
But that first day, the only thing I could say to God was help. And that's a prayer.
Yeah.
And I knew, just take me. The second day I could barely think, but I remember in my mind, I didn't say it, saying, I don't know if you can help me, Lord, but if you can, I'm right here. And then the other 14 days, they were just checking on me and making sure I wasn't having seizures and that I'm doing all right.
By the way, that almost sounded like a country song when you started.
Well,
I was
thank
like,
you.
yeah, I like it.
Maybe
I
I'll
like
turn
it.
that into it.
Let me ask you this question. So working
Sure.
with people a lot, we kind of hear this a lot, addiction is a symptom of the real issue,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so through your work over the years,
Sure.
Were you able to identify was there a thing, and I think it's real difficult for people who grow up with good parents
Sure.
to identify that. Some people it's real easy. They're like, this terrible thing happened, and that was the ripple effect happened. Were you able to identify something that you're willing to share with us?
Oh, sure. If you're talking about being arrested 3 times, and
Yes, we are.
Okay, well there you go. And having the joy of that, no, not at all. Those handcuffs that are really tight, and I have, and then I become a part of Luster, and so talk about losing the power and choice. That was, but you know what? Then I get out, and I'm going on. I'm not even to Ennis, and I'm thinking about a drink, and knowing that that's gonna fix it. Right? I'm wanting to fix my results. I'm thinking out of my mind and functioning out of, what is gonna fix that? A bottle of vodka, or outside circumstances. I don't know if we can.
Right.
Can we talk about
Anything,
that?
Sure, of
anything
course.
goes here.
Of course,
Anything
yeah.
goes.
Right. So the third time, no, I'm in front of a judge, and you know how I was, really and truly, if I had had a lie detector test on me, I would have passed it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would have passed it because I truly believed, meant it in my heart. I don't want to do this anymore. Probation, please help me. I don't want to die. And then, I get home. Takes me 45 minutes to get to Ennis, and I am truly, truly still in my mind that battle that is going on, that internal dialogue, that turmoil. Back again, it's on page 52. I want to drink. I don't want to drink. I want to drink. And that didn't last long because I know what's going to fix that pain immediately, and it's a drink. And so there you go.
Well, but for me, vodka was the go-to because
Me too.
because it travels so well.
Yeah.
It's really
Right,
what it is.
right.
And
In a water bottle. It looks good.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because nobody knows.
Sure.
Hey, Kelly, why are you chewing an entire pack of Dentine, fire gum, dude? Like, you always smell like cinnamon. Well, it's so I don't smell like alcohol.
Right. And why do I'm so back to this 8th treatment center, and I'm 51, so I started in 8th grade, and I have 5 years, which really means to me it's a privilege. I'm blessed, but again, God's not that impressed, and really it's just another day that's packed together.
Right.
But once I made it into this 8th treatment center, which I'm so grateful for, I wish I'd started drinking vodka when
it took me a while to figure
it.
It took me a second to figure it out.
Yep.
But then once I figured it out, then it was the go-to, and then the other stuff was like beer. That takes up too much room.
Sure.
Well,
when I'm doing, I never really. I was very faithful to meth,
Right.
and I also, because my ego was so big, and I could get it from my stepbrother, so there were a lot of things that made it real easy. So why would I wait? And it was cheap. So I was judgmental to anybody else that was doing any other drug, because why? Well, I don't know. Called my ego, I guess.
Right.
And I could hide it better. I didn't have to do that much.
I got a
and I never drank vodka.
Right.
Because you don't eat and you don't drink and you don't sleep.
Sure. Well, I have a question for you. So, like being a poly, right, is what we call it. Like, I mean, as far as multiple drugs, what did you find the hardest to walk away from?
Let's see. As far as
far as meth, you've got alcohol, you've got
Sure.
what was the hardest
Sure.
one?
Actually, it wasn't hard. I just became so old that actually meth, I wasn't having fun. It wasn't working anymore.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
just keeping me alive. If that.
Right.
I know that makes a
Well,
lot of
it
sense.
does make
and
sense.
then
Yeah.
I guess it kind of went away. Who to get it from. I found King vodka, and so I could isolate. I thought I could hide it better, and no, I really wasn't, because I had it in my car, under my bed, under every cabinet.
Of course.
and it looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
You're staying hydrated.
yeah, and I'm losing weight. It determined everything I did.
Right.
When I took a shower, it took my entire.
Oh, yeah.
It decided
Got a little
everything.
taste of the vodka-rexia.
Oh,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. And then I thought,
Vodka-rexia.
you know what? I'm gonna have some. I'm just gonna drink, and that's okay, because I don't look so bad. People that do meth, that's a drug. So I'm better than that. I've gotten really good.
Right.
But I was stuck in the more.
Right.
Right. If I drank, well, then I wanted to drink more. When I got drunk, I wanted to get drunker.
Yeah.
And then I found Xanax. I thought,
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Let's mix it together.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So there was one day I started putting towels down. Oh, this, I don't really like sharing this one, but
Okay.
what the hell? And I thought, I need to put some towels down in my front seat, just in case. I need them because I don't want to mess up my leather seat.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking ahead.
Right. Of course.
Right.
Planning out.
Sure. And then I, of course, had water bottles.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Right.
Right. Everywhere. And then I realized, you know what? I really like my couch. I should probably cover it up with something too, because I never know where I'm going to end. Or usually it was in a. I would wake up. I don't know.
You never knew the end result, and
No.
just in case, doing some.
No,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I would take wonderful trips to Kroger. It wasn't very far, and I bought real inexpensive, cheap champagne, except I bought like 7.
Right.
And I'm thinking that the cash out, or the cachet, what's his damn name? What's the woman
Cashier.
that- Thanks. See, I've drank so much, it still takes a
Right.
village. I don't know. Work with me. But
Right. It's still a little wet brain. It's all good.
hey, it takes what it takes. And I convinced myself that this woman is really believing that I'm just having a party.
Oh, yeah.
Except when I start buying them, every 2 days, and I went to the same woman, I think she's probably
might have
figuring
noticed.
out.
Well, okay,
she
so
can't be having parties like
I've told
every day of the
I've
week.
told this story before, but like I had the triangle.
Okay.
I had the triangle of liquor stores
Oh, yeah.
because I didn't want anybody that worked there to think I was an alcoholic. I mean,
yeah.
because I give up.
Call that.
Right.
There's a
you
term
got a
for
plan.
that.
You got a plan
Yeah,
going.
so I'd go here, and then I'm like, okay, well, I went to that one yesterday, I think. So then I need to go to this one
Sure.
tomorrow.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's called mapping.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it's funny how we really think that it's
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's, we really believe it's working.
I wonder how many. I would like to interview somebody that works at a liquor store and go, how many people do you have that you know are alcoholics that come in there thinking they're clever, beating the system?
Sure.
You know, but
Sure.
but first off, when you start knowing the people that work there and knowing their name and start getting social with them.
There's your sign.
There's your
Yeah,
sign,
there's
by
your
the
sign.
way. Hey, speaking of that, we are going to throw to commercial real quick. I don't know if Chad's ready for that.
Yeah. Do you have?
But I'm gonna go ahead and give the Max the Axe the plug.
Yeah.
Because Max the Axe is a personal injury lawyer, and he is a friend of the show, and actually he will get you maximum results. If you go to thispinklawyer.com, it will take you to Lone Star Injury Attorneys. And send him an email, and he will get back to you because he's all about the no gatekeeping. And if you have questions, just hit him up, Max at thispinklawyer.com, and he will get back to you. Mm-hmm. And Chadwick, we also have our new sponsor, which I like to let Chad read the copy on.
You have the copy?
I don't have the copy. But this
Naturally.
is something
Naturally.
I will let you freestyle on the copy. But it is
Freestyle. I like
stepping stones, sober living, and it's our good friend Joe. They're located out in McKinney, but it's 920-454-0569.
Yeah.
And I'll let Chad freestyle on that.
Oh, I like this.
I know that. I know the beginning of it.
Because it was the AI. No, the AI.
The AI
wrote,
commercial.
he gave us like copy that was AI written.
Mm-hmm.
So and then he starts reading it like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get the Morgan Freeman voice going. I'm pretty sure I can just pull it up real quick while
Please
I'm doing
do.
this.
Okay.
Please do.
Are you or somebody you know struggling with addiction? Here it is.
There you go.
Are you or someone you know struggling with addiction and looking for a safe and supportive environment to begin the road to recovery? Stepping Stone Sober Living is the place to go. We know firsthand that the journey to sobriety can seem impossible, but you never have to do it alone. Our community provides...
I thought you were gonna make it.
That was
dude.
pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna make it.
Our community provides the support and encouragement you need to... he's crying. You need to stay on track and achieve your recovery goals.
I'm sorry.
That's all good.
We offer clean, comfortable accommodations that help you feel right at home. Plus, our location is conveniently close to historic downtown McKinney and several vibrant recovery groups. So you can easily access the support and resources you need to succeed. Remember, recovery is a journey, not a destination. If you're serious about your recovery, then we want to help.
I love it.
Bravo,
Good job.
bravo.
Good job.
Yeah.
Hey, and that is Stepping Stone Sober Living. The number is 920-454-0569. Ask for Joe.
Yes.
And he will set it up. And Joe was actually going to be on the show next week.
Yeah,
so
well-
I'm excited about that. Yeah, he is actually on next week's show.
Well, he's on.
He's
on last
week's show from next week.
Can they
Well,
see it?
well, anyway, right. Anyway, we'll figure that out. We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then we have also you and I have a song.
Yeah, so-
out on Beatport that was charting at #1, right?
Yeah, and then the day that this podcast comes out is the same day it'll be available on Spotify and all the other
Oh,
platforms.
okay, cool.
So here is a little snippet.
Cut
of
it up, DJ. Let's hear it.
That was not it.
Yeah, I love that. We might
That
have
was
to
not
edit
it.
that
Hold
out.
on a second. No, man, we'll let it happen.
Let it ride.
We'll let it ride. Here,
Okay.
it should be.
It's a song called Something Beautiful.
Taste.
Yeah, so that should have worked the right way, but
Your body so lush. Don't confess your secret, be hush hush. Love is quiet place to make nice. I don't wanna scare your feelings, cause I want it so much. I have no time to wait. I come alive to make something beautiful. These voices in my head, they tell me I should say something magical.
All right.
there we
There we
go.
go.
Nice, very nice.
There we go. Yeah, so we're excited about that track.
It's number 1 for 6 days.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
a lot.
So
Well, be sure and put it in your Spotify.
Okay.
yeah, there's a pre-save link on our
our-
Instagram,
on our
but
pages.
by the time this comes out, it'll be out the same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. But that was a. I loved that. That was a little bit of a train wreck during the commercials.
That's
but I love
okay.
it.
For some
We keep
reason, it changed the
We
source
keep
video.
it real, yo.
This is
That's what
we're
I'm
really
saying.
DJing. out
That's
here.
right, exactly. Or playing songs on a
Well, one
laptop.
of us, one of y'all is.
All right. So now that we've totally gone off the rails, I know that you. Okay. So the reason why I said like socialite earlier. Hold on, just a second. Wait, just a second. Let me qualify. Is because you're involved with so many things. So now, if you want, what is that clicking noise, dude?
Dude, it's not letting me do the
I'm going to
shortcuts.
choke you.
I'm
No.
trying to put your name tag
It's,
up.
it's all good.
There we go.
But okay, so the reason why I said socialite and I didn't mean it in a negative context, and it's not a negative thing, is because you're involved in a lot of things, and one of them is Safer Dallas, Better Dallas, also 24-hour club, also all these things. So you're involved in a lot of communal things, which I think is a big part of your recovery and helps you
Absolutely.
stay focused. And that is why I use the term socialite.
Okay, socialite.
You're okay. Well, no, actually, what I
Well,
say,
I'm-
what I
I'm
say, hold
teasing.
on. What I say
teasing.
is recovery famous to
Oh,
certain people.
oh, here we go.
Recovery famous, like
Okay.
Dusty is recovery famous.
I mean,
He calls me
oh,
the Charles Manson of recovery. So I'll take socialite over that.
Okay. We're just. How about this? Delete all of that.
Right.
And then, no. Again, I am so blessed, and it is a privilege. You know, I have to give it away to keep it. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the truth. And really, I have nothing to do with it. If I have nothing to do with the day that I'm here, I have nothing to do with the day that I met you. That I know that that's all God. So
Yeah.
to be a part of Nexus, I was invited by one of the girls that's, I go to a meeting
And
with.
for those that don't know what Nexus is, what is Nexus?
Okay. Well, Nexus is it's one of the only in North Texas that accepts women and their children and free of charge.
Mm-hmm.
And they can stay there as long as they need. So that's one that is to my heart,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. It even has a medical facility on it. So
Right.
when, that's it.
Well, I love it.
It-
It's an all-in-one stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I talk about it, it feeds my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know how God puts things season by season into your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was last year. And my mother and I, we do a lot of things together now that I'm recovered
Mm-hmm.
daily. So we got to chair the Mother's May brunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was blessed. A friend of mine, Lauren, invited me to be on the board of the auxiliary, which is only bringing awareness
Mm-hmm.
to Nexus. The Christmas parties.
Sure.
And trick and trunk.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's some people that socialite
Right.
Don't leave it alone. Leave it alone. But for some people, it's easy to write a check.
Right.
Whether it's $5 or more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But the real deal is being on site, meeting the women,
Yeah.
sharing, talking to them. That is where I get filled. Why? Because without it, I'm not giving any away. I'm not doing service work.
Right.
Now, I'm not working step 12 because I'm not taking somebody through the steps, but it is just as vital. And I'm not talking about the mechanics. It's just as vital to see and be a part of this. That is how God has blessed me. And let me
Right.
tell you, Kelly, I know you're about to cut me off.
No, it's all good.
But, and I'll get choked up again, but fuck it, I don't care. Oh God, can I say
You
that?
can
Oh
say
my God,
you
I'm
can
so
say
sorry.
you can
Oh,
say fuck it.
I'm so sorry.
You can say fuck it
Mom.
and God in the same sentence.
Okay. Okay, Mom, I love you. And but when I every place that I go, and I'm blessed and asked to tell my story, thank you for today, or chair, I'm not really chairing the meeting. I'm just getting to hang out with another alcoholic. I might have more time than them, but you know what? If I don't watch what I'm doing, I can relapse like that. And that kid that's sitting there in 90 days is going to be on fire, and he's going to be chairing right here, and I'm going to be sitting in his seat. But easy. But back, Nexus 24, Magdalene House. When I had the privilege to chair, I don't know why I say, just be a part of.
Right.
Every time, y'all, I would tell them, the joke's on you because you think I'm helping you, but actually you're helping me.
Right.
And they don't really, I don't think they get it, but one of these days they're going to understand it. So I truly do get in my car and I cry happy tears because I just get to thank God for another day of
Right.
real sobriety and there you go.
Well, and I think Chad actually gets something out of where he works because he works for the Phoenix House of Texas, which he deals with under what do you say adolescent. There you go.
Yeah.
So
and it
is it people under 18?
Yes.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. It 100%. I don't know. It's cool, and you're open to suggestion. And you have your intentions and your motives right. You can learn. I could learn something from a fucking baby.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I could be like, wow, the way that they move is sure interesting, and then it'll strike. It's just like a match that strikes, and then all of a sudden the hay bale gets lit on fire in my brain, and then I start. I don't know. It's really cool, man. I get to be a part of something bigger than myself, and these kids. It's wild because they have a chance. You know what I mean? They have more of a chance than any other age group, I would have to say.
Absolutely.
Because, and that's not to say, it's tougher to work with this or that or whatever, but it's, I don't know. You know when you say something, you see the doors in somebody's mind just blow wide open because you've had that happen to you before.
Sure.
I see that happen a lot with some of the people I work with and some of the stuff they say to these kids, and then I see that happens to me a lot with some of the stuff that these kids say. Okay. And I'm just like, holy shit, 2 and 2 does equal 4. You know what I mean? But I'm still trying to make it equal 5 in my mind.
You're trying to do the long division.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's something about just being immersed in an environment where that's my singular purpose. You know what I mean? Is to try and do what I can to help. It helps me more than it helps anybody else.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it takes a real gift to work with that population too. A lot of people aren't willing to give them their time. And
it also takes a person that talks like a fucking idiot like me. You know what I mean? When they interviewed me, they were like, "Oh yeah, you'll be perfect."
We're hiring you right now.
That's exactly the point of. I took a deficit and now it is my strength.
Yeah, dude.
They were like, Chad's just dopey enough, dude. We can bring him on board.
Oh my God! But way to go, because you are helping a lot of kids. For me, when I was 18, I was too far gone. I wish I had. Somebody just explained to me the allergy and the phenomenon, and then the consequences, and Just that I did not have a behavioral problem. There was nothing wrong with me. I was not a bad person.
Right.
And y'all, I for some reason, imagine that. I can't imagine why I didn't get it through the 7 treatment centers, and I got it on the 8th treatment center. But I never knew that I had an allergy.
Yeah.
And once I found that out, then there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
A huge part.
Yeah.
Right. So there you
Well,
go.
I mean-
and the connection with God. Now, the only thing that's keeping me from having this drink when I'm by myself and the sponsor doesn't answer, I don't have my book, I can't make it to an AA meeting, blah, blah, blah. All these okay. What really is going to divide me from this drink or that thing that's going to cure it? That instant, when I want instant, I'm not going to say relief, but
Gratification.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I know how to get that.
Yeah.
And all those isms that can come out, because I got a lot of them, and I'm just as sick with those. And I'm not drinking, but that drink's getting a lot closer to me.
Yeah.
So whether it's sexism, eating disorder, shopping, gambling, whatever it is.
Right.
Now I'm back in step 1, and I got major unmanageability, but I've got such an ego and I've got fear that I don't want to call you, Kelly, and say, hey man, especially
Having a
if
rough day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just at this, people think, oh, you're doing Nexus, Magdalene House. You're really spending a lot of time. You've got 14 sponsees. It's crazy.
Right.
But to just tell my sponsor I'm too afraid because my ego, right? And that's right behind fear, is so loud that I don't want to tell you or you, Chad, because I want you to like me. I'd still want you to believe I'm doing okay. When I really need to call you and say, man, I'm not drinking, but I'm gonna. And I have an eating disorder that's out of control. I've been bananas for 6 months. I'm not drinking,
Right.
but I'm all over step 1.
Yeah, I'm
My
still,
life
yeah.
is bananas. I'm living all over page 52. So I'm useless. I'm
Yeah.
useless to anybody until I actually share it with someone, get down to the
Right.
cause and condition, and know why I'm spun out, got an eating disorder. I'm that ego. I want to look thin. I want people to like me. I want to continue to look like, oh, she's got it going on. Look at it. She's doing the check marks. And actually, I'm dying inside because secrets keep you sick.
Yeah, I think the more you are involved in recovery and recovery world stuff, whether it's 12-step recovery, addiction treatment, the fall from grace is deadly. And I think, the more you're involved, a lot of people, it's really hard for them to reach out and ask for help because of the ego, because of the fear, because of the persona they put on. And, I think that's a good lesson to talk about.
Yeah.
I think for
wear
the
masks.
next episode, under Dusty's name, we can put habitual mic misser.
Habitual side.
Hey, I'm Dusty Burrow.
I need to get one of those.
Right.
Mic me up.
He
with
needs
one that's
like one
attached
of
to
the
my face.
operator.
Like
Yeah.
Bobby Brown.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
am I hogging the show? Or
No,
am I-
it's
No,
good.
sorry.
this is about
no,
you.
no. It's all about.
I move away from this thing.
No.
Because I feel
No,
like,
you've done. You have been
I look
a.
over and he's all gotten to say 3 words.
No,
No,
he's
you're the
all
guest.
good.
Oh, I
You're
am the guest?
You are the guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were
And
the
he's
guest.
the main host.
No, this is your show.
Here's
Oh.
actually, yeah, you're the host now.
Well, I remember you in the beginning saying, man, I'm the badass. I run this show.
That's right.
Everybody else can do what I say. And Chad, you need help, and we don't even know why we have you here.
That's right. Exactly. We don't even know why you're here, Chad.
You asked me to video it just to prove
Oh, yeah,
that you're
for
running
sure.
the show and Chad needs help.
Right. Exactly. Well, you got that documentation
Yeah,
too, right?
I
Okay,
did.
cool. Perfect.
You gave me
It's a
permission to
behind-the-scenes
post it.
documentary.
Please
huh?
do.
But you know what, Chad? I'm not gonna post it, man. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna edit it down.
And just send it to Kelly and go, look at what an asshole you
Well,
are.
yeah, I know, and how
Right.
blessed you are to be
Right.
a part of this show.
Be a part of Kelly's asshole.
Just take the parts where Kelly was cussing at me, and then take
Edit
this
it
video
out,
real
right.
quick where I'm like,
Right.
and then just add that same clip
no.
in after he says everything,
Yeah,
so it looks like he
everyone-
beats
Yeah.
me.
Everyone
Well,
will know.
that,
The next show is
that
narcissistic
why
abuse.
yes.
Right.
Is that why you keep a box of Kleenex next to you?
That's right.
You're not supposed to. Hey, you don't say that.
Oh my God. But rolling off and kind of, I guess, piggyback. I hate that word, but it's so. Whatever, man. Let me slide.
Right.
But why I'm rolling off of you and why it is so vital to stay in your day, for me to stay humbled. You know, it's here on. I don't know what page it is, and you know what? Who cares? Because
Right.
I know how to read.
Well, we're not.
And-
We're not
it's
keeping
somewhere
score.
in,
Right.
in the book, but the book is very important to me. You know what? There was a time not too long ago, guys, 3 years ago, I started worshiping mechanics. You know, I wanted to be able to memorize what was on page 24 and could tell people, go to Magdalene's house and tell you what was in the first paragraph. And, right? There's ego. I wanted to impress you.
Right.
So I'm going to Magdalene's house and cheering for all the wrong reasons. I mean, you know, again, I thought
Not
that
to
they
be
should,
of service,
Oh,
but
right.
to present well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, really, I even got a resentment, which is fear right behind that, because they didn't hire me.
Ah.
You know,
well,
I figured
all right.
I should have been hired, you know, within 4 days because my chairing was so amazing.
Right.
Well, you
dude.
just hit on a good thing. You know, it's not just about abstinence. It's about breaking cycles that you've been cycling for decades and
Sure.
putting up this pretty face and this persona.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a long time. So
Sure.
that's when, you know, I believe when we talk about doing the work, it's not just the mechanics you talk about, but doing the work of healing and breaking those cycles.
Yes, yes. You know, the mechanics are very important. Obviously, they're important to me. Yes. Meetings are important to me. But you know what? They don't, 90 meetings is not mentioned in the first 48 pages plus doctor's opinion. Early as I never saw it. And, you know, it's great to offer to a newcomer. They get action, they get involved. Okay, I get it. But if they go to 2,000 meetings in 90 days, does that mean anything? They go to 2 a day. Okay, what if they only do 89 meetings in 90 days? Didn't do it. Okay, should I have already done all my amends by 90 meetings and be sponsoring? And that, to me, you know, it didn't work well.
Right.
My 7 treatment centers. And then I was wondering, man, I'm doing all this shit. I'm working the steps. What's wrong with me?
Well, see,
but I
and then
like it now.
That's where we talk, and it's about your own personal formula,
Sure.
and it's about what works for you. That's why I'm like, oh, I'm not going to force what works for me on you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is how I can drop all prejudice, open my mind, hear what you've got to say, learn from you, and then I've got more things to put.
More tools in the toolbox.
Bam.
Yeah.
Bam. But I've got to completely let that go to think, you know what? I know everything.
Right.
I need to be helping Chad. Probably he needs to hire me.
Chad needs lots of help.
Well, you know, Chad does, but
Yeah,
maybe
right.
not in
Right.
recovery. But yes, I've got to know and truly believe 100%.
All
I
right.
don't have this thing,
Right.
and I'm never going to do it perfect. And,
Sure.
and thank God that I'm not, and neither are you. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to impress you, but to be able to be honest with you and then
Yeah.
learn from you. You know,
Yeah.
challenge each other.
Right.
So if meditation's not your thing, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But maybe you'll consider doing it. I
Right.
don't know. And does it matter to me?
Right.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, meditation is a huge part of Dusty's recovery.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, you know, and I know he's not the traditional God type dude that I know of.
Tell
I don't
me
know.
about it, because
Yeah,
I
let's hear
want to
about
hear
it.
about it.
You know what? From a spiritual perspective, you know, I have kind of gone on a journey of unlearning everything that I've been taught about.
Right, because
spirituality
we're
and
all
religion.
probably brought up in a
I
Christian
was,
base.
I was raised in a Catholic environment, and I didn't really have bad experiences. Just like with the 12-step community, I didn't really have bad experiences. But what I gravitated towards was a kind of multi-spiritual meditation type of community, and that's what led me to Recovery Dharma. And Recovery Dharma, you don't have to believe in any religion or any particular God, but it is a spiritually based program. But the door is wide open for however you want to interpret that, and even if you're atheist or agnostic, then that's fine too.
Exactly.
Right.
So it kind of gives you a clean slate in which to build on, a clean slate in which.
Well,
to
a
build
lot of
structure
people,
for
some
spirituality.
people will have the issue that's why they have problems with the 12 steps is because of that God portion. But there are the we agnostics and all that
And that's
stuff.
my favorite chapter.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so I think having outlets and different pathways to recovery is really important. What I see oftentimes is what people will go down one pathway, and because of they meet other people along their journey who learn and share and kind of trade ideas, then
that
maybe
community.
a year or
That
2 years
community.
down the road, then they're open to things that they weren't open to in the first 90 days of
Well,
their
you know what
recovery.
I love
got
about Recovery Dharma is that it's not just about substance recovery. It's about trauma recovery and
There you go.
PTSD and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's
Any
focusing
behavior-
mindfulness on that.
Yeah, any behavior that's causing you or other people suffering because of your behavior.
Yep.
So it's not just I'm being an asshole to myself, but maybe to my kids. So that can be your drinking, your drugging, your sex conduct, as we call it, just working too much, whatever it is.
Right.
Because just because somebody goes on an abstinence-based recovery from chemicals doesn't mean there's not other behaviors that they need to abstain from, or in this case, renounce.
Yeah,
know.
sure.
Yeah, and at the same time, like it's like addiction and trauma and whatever it is go hand in hand so much now, right? And that's now co-occurring disorders, right?
Sure.
So if you have, and this is like a stupid analogy that I make, but if you have you have depression, you have this, you have that. Yeah, AA has the potential to solve all your problems, right?
Well.
But if you have one. If you have one basket and it holds 12 eggs, right, and you buy 24 eggs from the store, are you going to put all those 24 eggs in that 12-egg basket? No. So if you're co-occurring disorder, then treat it like a co-occurring disorder. AA will get you sober and help you stay sober long enough for your mind to get intact and for you to be able to start sitting down and dealing with whatever the fuck it is you need to deal with.
Right.
Right? And they do not say that in the rooms enough. Because like therapy, that kind of stuff, man, like that inner trauma work, that inner child shit, that shit needs to be addressed because it will creep back up. Hey, you'll be sober for a few years, you'll be abstinent for a few years, cool. But when it hits, it'll hit.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Until you get that shit done, good luck, have fun.
Yeah, why not utilize all these things that are out there? And
There's a million
some of it's very
things.
simple. Getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, nutrition, health and exercise, psychotherapy, having a sponsor, going to meetings, building community.
Yeah.
It's not just my opinion, but the research supports the more
Right.
of these things that you're doing, the better your chances of long-term sobriety
Yep.
and
Yeah.
success in that, not
Yep.
just abstinence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we've all
Right.
met somebody who's abstinent for a long time that's a real asshole.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The angry drunk.
Yeah.
Or the angry
dry
the
drunk.
dry
angry
drunk,
Dry
dude.
drunk.
Dry
That's
drunk.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it. Hey, well, okay.
And
so-
who wants to do that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who wants to recover and be
Miserable.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather drink.
I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
right? Or that dialogue, you know
Right.
what? And I hear about what's so sad is that's when we lose somebody, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Lose somebody because the dialogue and you inside your head, the depression is so crazy that you can't get away from it, and the next thing you know, you just hear about them.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
So-
Yeah. Oh, and what is that? What's the joke? Oh, yeah. Great guy. Terrible disease. Terrible
Yeah.
disease.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. Great
Right,
guy.
right.
But
So-
hey, so we're actually out of time.
oh,
But it has
that
been
went by fast.
It was a pleasure having you on. I always like to give the guest an opportunity to shout out. So anybody special maybe that was monumental in your recovery or still a big part of your life you'd like to shout out, now is your chance.
Okay, a big. Well, let's see. There's Harriet Shaw. and definitely. Oh my gosh. I'm blessed to have her and share. She's one I can call and tell all to. I'm blessed that actually my sister and my brother-in-law have addiction and are recovered, but it's nice to roll with and
to have that
in
in
your family.
for sure.
Oh yes, definitely. And then there's Mark H.
Okay.
I love to hear, and I still listen to his tapes. So that's
Dusty's just blank. He's like, "Who's Mark H?"
Mark,
Mark H.
Mark Houston. There's Chris and Myers Raymer, because I spent an hour a day with them at this last treatment center, and there'll be plenty of people that just heard Chris and Myers Raymer. I can guarantee that. I could go along, but I have to truly say, then the last one. My mother, and it's just her staying with me, and just like God loving me the same amount as when I was out there effed up, and then loving me the same amount as the last 5 years of my life. I know I don't have to get close to God.
That
to
unconditional love is a nice thing.
Yes.
Is
It
a
was
nice thing
vital.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you for having me. It's
thanks
such
for
a
coming on.
privilege.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and thank you again, Dusty, for coming in. I appreciate
great
you
time
traveling
again.
up from north, and then we've got Brandon. And who else? Robert and
Adam.
They're all Iron Men.
Tri Amigos.
Yeah. And they do, and that's a big part of their recovery, right?
Gentlemen in long-term recovery that are using this health and fitness to kind of keep themselves healthy and to spread the word.
Right.
That it's not just about sobriety, but about getting involved in stuff. And
Right.
they've built quite a community. And
Cool.
These guys are freaking amazing. And I just used to party with Brandon.
Right. Well, there you go.
To watch his transformation has been inspirational to me, and just a really awesome thing to watch.
You have been an inspiration to me. I know I let you just share for 3 minutes, but Kelly, thank you so much. Because when I think about your sobriety, and I'm sorry I never knew you were a DJ. And Chad, thank you so much to get to know y'all. This is a privilege.
Well, and I'm sure we'll run into each other at some point with
7-Eleven.
all the things you're involved with. Well, I'll be maybe at Charlie's Star Lounge again.
Oh,
we'll be drinking water again.
Well, actually, that is how we got started.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, and Chadwick, thank you as always.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Of course.
Dick.
Yeah, right. You prick.
Hey, Chad,
I think this is the first episode where I cried.
Oh that was funny.
That
was good.
I know. I held back tears.
It was the Morgan Freeman that got you, dude. I think that was
like Hannibal Lecter. I think
I just want
Hannibal
to say.
Freeman.
It is kind of Hannibal Freeman.
I just want to say there's no magic pill for sobriety, because if there was,
I can't with him.
would all take 2